The George Zimmerman trial continues today, and after a week of explosive testimony, which side has the upper hand? Here with a breakdown of the case gripping the country right now is Judge Jeanine Pirro. Judge, great to see you.
Great to see you, too.
So we've had 1 week of witness testimony. What do you think has been the most compelling?
Well, I think the most compelling is the fact that nobody is really sure who's on top, who is screaming. The judge, and rightfully so, did not allow any kind of analysis of some experts saying that's George Zimmerman's voice or that's Trayvon Martin's voice. It's going to be up to the witnesses. And what we initially thought was that clearly Zimmerman is injured, but the question is, was he on top? Was he on the bottom? And now it seems that it was Trayvon that was straddling him. I don't think that resolves the whole issue. I really don't. I think that the issue is going to come down to Trayvon is saying, get off, according to his girlfriend on the phone. And a lot of people don't believe that girlfriend, Rachel Chantel, except she's got the telephone records. It's not like she's making this up.
Right, she's not. So let's listen to a couple of moments from this week's testimony and have you in.
The person who you now know to be Trayvon Martin was on top, correct?
Correct.
And he was the one who was raining blows down on the person on the bottom, George Zimmerman, right?
That's what it looked like.
What did you hear?
Trayvon, I kind of heard Trayvon say, get off, get off.
Then what did you hear?
And then the second later, the phone hung up.
So if you had to predict which way this case is going to go, can you at this point?
You know what, Allison, whenever there is a question as to what the facts are, and those questions are during the prosecution's case, it's not good because we have to prove the DA beyond a reasonable doubt to the satisfaction of all of these jurors, unanimous. But I think the question will come down to the judge's charge. Was George Zimmerman reasonably in fear of his life such that he had to take that gun and kill Trayvon, who is splayed out with a bag of Skittles next to him, who's saying to his girlfriend, there's a creepy, cracker following me. It's really going to be a question of the charge and not so much the facts, because nobody can tell us the facts. One guy's 6 feet under and the other guy's fighting for his life. Wow. So who knows?
Let's talk about your book. You have a new book out. It's called Clever Fox. Very juicy read. So this is, interestingly, about a district attorney and the criminals that she fought. How thinly veiled is this, Judge, about your own life?
It's about Danny Fox. This is a sequel to Sly Fox. Danny is an assistant DA. She is my alter ego. As a young prosecutor, she's torn between two men, and what she doesn't know about them can be certainly dangerous to her. But in the middle of her being a prosecutor trying murder cases, you kind of get an insider view of what goes on. You know, crime is not always about who done it. It's more about the politics of what goes on in the office. And we're not really sure of how this thing is going to play out, but Danny is this person who's into truth and justice, and then there are all these bigger forces above her. And of course, the dirtiest secret in law enforcement is the turf war between the feds and the locals. I know it firsthand. I know. And Danny does as well, but the problem is she has this tension with this FBI guy that she really likes, and she doesn't like the feds. And they don't like
that
her.
Sounds juicy, and it sounds like a subject you know well. How much of this is real life, and how much is from your imagination?
Well, I lived a lot of it, so I can tell you that I'm very familiar with it. And as a DA and an assistant DA, I give you an insider view. People love and they hunger for crime. They want to know what goes on, what are the resources, who decides what goes on. And if you read Clever Fox, you'll get an insider's view.
Thanks so much. We'll all be reading it. Clever Fox. Judge Jeanine, thanks so much for coming in.